As the leader of the Booner Pack, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the fuck up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juice pumping, boys.
Welcome to Crunch Time Sports with Jeff and Booner. We are live, unlike yesterday where we weren't live.
Are you sure we're live?
It is Thursday, October 9th. A lot of things happening right now. You have the Red Wings on. They're down, 3-1 in the first period?
Yeah, it's a tough first period.
Tough first period for the Red Wings. Booner has a bet for them to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I did actually put a bet on the game tonight, too.
You did. They just keep pulling you in.
It wasn't like money line. It was just You know what's cool? I love betting for Wings. Shots on goal. It's thrilling.
Oh, that's the best bet I think in hockey.
I just did like a plus 200. It was like Kane 2 shots on goal, which he has 0, of course. Larkin 2, he has 1, and Lucas Raymond 2, which he already has 2. So it really comes down to Patrick Kane getting 2 and Larkin 1 more. Feels like an easy bet to hit. But yes, I did place a bet on the Detroit Red Wings to make the playoffs, like plus 250, plus 260. I believe it will happen this year. I'm all in. There's no way they go another year without making the playoffs. They've been so close every year. There's just no chance they do it again.
Gentry will not hear the end of it if they don't.
You do know if they don't make the playoffs, Steve Yzerman's probably fired. Steve's will probably tells these boys, my job's on the line. Like, I'm one of the greatest to ever put this jersey on. Do not stain my reputation in this organization.
Yeah.
So I think Yzerman's I bet you he's gonna be a little bit more hands-on this year. So his reputation doesn't get kind of screwed up there when it comes to being the GM.
We also have Thursday night football. Eagles, Giants. Eagles coming off a loss. We'll be following that. We already have our bets in place. Kory Woods will be joining 8:30.
Hack show.
To chop it up about the Lions injury report that came out, which I will get to in a little bit. Rogelio Castillo is joining the show later in the second hour to talk some Tigers.
What a show we've got today. What a Thursday.
Lions Chiefs to get to today. And man, I was having a good day today. All right. I was having a good day. I checked that practice report.
Yeah.
I didn't like what I saw on that practice report. I don't like it at all. And then I had Lions Collective, and I got to, because Justin, Colton, and Will were all there, and they kind of gave more context to the injury report. I don't like it.
There's one player. There's one player for me that and I didn't watch Collective. Sometimes I do. Can I be honest with you? Last few weeks I haven't, because me and you talk ball. I don't want to hear your takes before our show, so I sit back and wait. Yeah, so I sit back and wait. Can I name a player that I'm worried about, and maybe you can report back from what you had a conversation with them about?
You might have the same player, probably.
I saw a tweet today that said a certain star player on our defensive side of the ball is going to look to potentially get surgery on his ankle/foot. Brian Branch potentially has I don't know if it's major or what the context of that is. I did see a report today that Brian Branch is going to a doctor to see if he needs surgery. And I don't know if that's true. I saw, it might have been Dave Burkett that put it out. So Dave's always I think he's the best in the game. So I would have to think it's true. I don't know how, did Justin or someone give you all context on this injury or what's happening?
Yeah, they said he's getting an MRI, and they said he was walking around. I think the word that Will used was gingerly during practice. And at the end in the locker room, he was kind of limping. So they didn't like that. So I'm going to be honest. I don't know. I don't have the information to say whether he's playing or not. But if you're getting an MRI on your foot or ankle, it's probably not the best here. So look at all these guys that didn't practice. I mean,
I don't know if there was any optimism when you talked to Colton and them over there with the Lions Collective. My thought process is this. Do you want to know where my brain goes to be honest with you?
Where?
With Brian, my brain just goes to, hey, there is some type of pain in his, foot or ankle. There's some type of pain. They just want to make sure it's something that he can play through and it's nothing. Because obviously he's limited practice. He played last week. He's at practice. He's obviously limping. It could just literally just be a precautionary. Let's just make sure there's nothing that can happen long term. And if there's nothing long term, then he can play through the injury. Now, if there's something more long term, okay, sit a week, let it heal, or 2 weeks, as long as you need to let it heal and then move on. And then, I don't know if it's something that would have to be with surgery or anything, but maybe it's just like a precautionary. Hey, you have some type of pain. Let's just make sure there's nothing wrong in there. Because I feel like that happens all the time with knees and different bones.
Yeah, and I don't know the exact injury because I don't think it. This is just me spitballing. I don't think it's like a season-ending injury or anything. I don't think so. But we have to wait and see with the MRI. I mean, I just don't know. I don't know. And then you already have. So this is like what the secondary is dealing with. So you have Terran Arnold, who hasn't practiced all week due to the shoulder. You have Kirby Joseph that hasn't practiced all week due to the knee. You have Brian Branch that limited practice due to his ankle. You have DJ Reed on IR due to a hamstring, and you have Maddox, who popped up on the injury report, hamstring, who had limited practice. So hence why they brought in Arthur Millette, who's the nickel corner on the practice squad. Like, they probably saw all this before we did. They have, how many injuries is that? Terran Arnold, DJ Reed, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Maddox. You have 5 guys dealing with injuries.
That's essentially like essentially everyone.
Like every start. No,
the only one that's outside of Amik.
Yeah, pretty much every starter is dealing with something. Now Kirby could play, Brian could play, but they're still dealing with something in a big game. And then you have Taylor Decker, who's dealing with that shoulder as well. Yep. So, which he's kind of a maybe to play. But yeah, it is. I mean, it seems like last year it was the D line, and then there was other injuries, but it was the D line that suffered the most. It seems like it's the secondary's turn. They're just battling through some injuries.
I can't believe it's happening the way it is, and like you said, you kind of just hope that just some of these are just minor. Because if it turns in, like, at least like the T8 thing, I feel like the secondary, as much as injuries as we've had, there has been breaks within that too. Because obviously the T8 thing, everyone thought that was, with this week alone, it was back and forth. You have Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero being like, hey, that's a season-ending injury. And then a couple hours later, you have Shefty, and then you have Dan the next day coming out and being like, we still don't know. But hopefully, they didn't put them on IR when they made roster moves this week. So that's positive news. The only negative one is probably the most negative one was the DJ Reed one. But luckily, again, catch a little break, not a long or a full season one. So hopefully you get another break here with the Brian Branch one, and there's nothing really big to it. Hopefully.
Yeah, we know for certain. I know Giovanni Manu's on that injury report. He probably ain't going to play. I mean, there's no way. Even if he was playing or healthy, he wouldn't be playing. That's why they brought up probably Dan Skipper to play in this game. Yeah. If Taylor can't go, which, to be honest, I don't know if this is like, I know we talked about this with Kirby, and I don't know where you're at with like Taylor potentially playing. Like, I think this is it's an important game. Obviously, it's prime time. I get it. It's it's the Chiefs. I want Taylor Decker to be healthy December, January, and potentially February. I'm not as worried. Like, if he needs to rest again and miss this game, like, by all means, please do it. Yeah. I think the worst thing the Lions could do, not that it would be their fault. If he plays, he's good enough to play. But the worst case scenario would be he plays and then he's season ending and he's out. Yeah,
that was what I said earlier this week.
That would be brutal, man.
I think you sit him for 3 or 4 weeks. You can even throw him on IR for 4 weeks and just let him you find a way to get by, because you do have the bye week coming up, and it's 2 games, the bye week, and then it's the Vikings game. I think you can get through with what you have through those 4 weeks. I know it's 2 big matchups and then the Vikings, but I just think it's like, even if it's not the Vikings game, you don't throw them on the IR and you just leave them out until after the bye. I think I'm fine with that. Because like I said earlier this week, if you get to the end of the season with no Taylor Decker in the playoffs because of an injury that you just didn't let him rest, you're not winning a Super Bowl. Like, you need him as your tackle. As much as people went at him last year, that's a valuable piece right now to your offense, is having both of your tackles healthy, especially when it comes January, February.
Now, I think the fair question to kind of ask here is looking at this Chiefs team, which, by the way, like, this Chiefs team, I know Patrick Mahomes is kind of slowly returning back to what he was when in terms of pushing the ball downfield, because you look at the receivers they have. Xavier Worthy just popped up on the injury report today, by the way. So they're not all healthy. I know they tweeted out yesterday. Xavier Worthy's on that injury report today. So we'll see.
What was it? Do you know?
I don't know. It might be he looked like he hurt his ankle again in the Jags game, but
he was on the ground.
So I don't know if it's maybe his ankle, but the thing with this wide receiver room for the Chiefs is they have so much speed. It's not even funny. They have Xavier Worthy, who ran a 4.22, Hollywood Brown, who ran like a 4.3, and then they have Tyquan Thornton, who ran like a 4.3. So they have 3 guys that are 4.2, 4.3 speed. 3 guys that are like 2 if Xavier doesn't play. They got speed on the outside. And then so Mahomes this year has returned back to kind of old Mahomes where he's pushing the ball. Like he's like up there.
He's going downfield, especially to Thornton.
Pushing the ball. So not only are you potentially you're without both your starting corners, but you better have Kirby. Kirby and Brian got to play. They have to play in this matchup. Like this matchup's today.
I'm so interested in this MRI situation with Brian Branch.
It's going to be big. Well, Calvin actually spoke today about Amik. It seems like he's the lone warrior in this whole thing. He's the only one really like still, which is great depth, by the way, to have Amik Robertson playing. But he spoke about Amik and the importance of him today. So let's take a listen to Calvin.
That's like stuff that people don't know about this player. He's always had the underdog mentality. People's always told him he wasn't good enough. You're too small, this and that. And all he's done is put his head down and continue to work. And that's why you see this player be able to plug and play. That's not easy. It's one thing to plug and play. It's another thing to plug and play and get tasked with the receivers he's tasked with. I mean, we're talking about the elite of the elite in the league, and he doesn't bat an eye. And it's not fake. It's not phony. It's real. It's who he is, and it's a part of his DNA. That's like stuff that people don't.
This is the thing here. You got Amik. He's going to be serviceable. I love Amik. Like I don't have too many gripes with him playing. I think even though he blew the touchdown to I could really care less. He's good depth. He's going to be your starting outside corner. You have Rocky Sin, who's going to be cornerback 2. And we'll just go Kirby and Brian. And if Brian can't go, I don't know. They're going to have to. It'll probably be the safety from Jacksonville who they signed. I can't think of his name, but it'll be some depth piece, whatever. What's kind of your? I don't know where you're at with like concern level with this matchup because I will say the Chiefs have struggled to run the ball. I don't know if you've noticed. Patrick Mahomes leads the team in rushing yards. Like they cannot run the ball. And Pacheco had some good runs last week, but they haven't been really able to run the ball that effectively. And you're facing a Lions team who's really good against the run. My concern is Mahomes has been able to take over games when they do win because he has to and he's good enough to. If you're going to win this game, it's not going to be by stopping the run. It's going to have to be by the back end. Like it's going to be, or the front 7 getting home because you got to help out the secondary a little bit. So if I'm being honest with you, I am concerned about this matchup. I think it's going to be one of those games. I get a feeling early in the week. I think it'll be high scoring in my opinion. I know John said that. I think I'm starting to lean that way, Booner, if I'm being honest. I think
higher scoring game.
Yeah, I think it'll be an offensive like type of game.
Yeah, I think it'll be in the 20s. I don't think this is, in my opinion, I don't think this is going to be like a 42-35 matchup, which would, in my opinion, that's more so the higher scoring. I think it's going to be a 27-21, 27-24 type matchup, but the over probably still hits. I don't know what it's at right now. I don't know. I think the one thing that stands out for me, like, am I worried about the game? You know, at the end of the day, it's going to be a battle. I'm interested. That is interesting to me. Like the Isaac Pacheco, he hasn't gotten going at all this year. He was supposed to be like a big piece of their offense to finally kind of obviously get back on track. And Pacheco was that guy for them, and he was injured. And then they had Kareem Hunt, and then now he's back fully. They said, hey, he's fully healthy, and he's been bad all year. I don't know. The thing that stands out to me, I know, Jeff, we're gonna get into like offense, defense, all that. The one thing that I feel very good about in this game is the Lions run offense. Like we could talk about like, hey, the Chiefs can't run the ball. The Chiefs can't run the ball. The Lions with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Demont, obviously the O-line a little beat up. Chiefs give up a lot of rushing yards. They do. And I think that's been a problem with how they've lost games is just teams running all over them. And I think we were watching the Chiefs game, you and I, or at some point in the last 2 weeks. And what did I say? I said the one way you beat the Kansas City Chiefs is you just have extremely long possessions, very long. Who was that? Who just beat them? The Jags? Was it
the Jags? Yeah, they had.
And we were live or we were doing something, and I just like literally it just having long possessions and taking Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes out of the game, and that's how you win this game. And that's where I think the Lions, like, am I worried about the game? I'm not going to say I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't know if the Lions are going to be able to get this done. No, if they control possession and they run the ball very well, I don't see a world where this Lions team let's say, isn't in a one possession game or wins this football game. Like, I don't see this ever being a game where they pull away and we're fighting back or we're down. Saquon, by the way, just had an incredible 15-yard run to start the game. But you see what I'm saying? Like, that's not, to me, if I, like, obviously we're gonna do keys to victories probably tomorrow, Sunday. That's just always going to be my number one in a game like this when you're playing an elite quarterback and an elite coach. It's keep them off the field. That's running the ball. And they have right now, looking at it right here, Jeff, they're the 21st worst rush defense in the NFL, giving up 123 yards per game. That's not good. That's really bad. So you should be able to take advantage of that. And the Lions have a top 10 rush or offense at like 135 or something like that yards per game. So that's kind of my thought process when it comes to the game as a whole is you keep those guys out of it. Like, yeah, defensively, you can stop Mahomes, have all these schemes. What's the best defense on Patrick Mahomes? Keep that man on the sideline. That's the best defense against the man. He's one of the greatest ever.
Yeah, well, the interesting part of what the Chiefs are doing, you mentioned they're the 21st ranked rushing defense. So you mentioned over 120 yards a game. They're actually giving up, and I know it's a smaller sample size, but for whatever reason, they've given up 144 yards on the ground at home. So they've given up 20 more yards at home, which is almost dead last. I think they're like 27th or 28th in the league of 32 teams at home. So is it all correlated? Does that mean they're going to give up 150 yards? I don't know, but for whatever reason, that's the data. All right, they give up more yards at home. So, and they're facing a rushing offense, which, like you said, is one of the best in the league. So, if you're going to win this game, it is going to be by, like you said, keeping your defense off the field for as long as humanly possible.
Yeah,
that is how you're keeping Mahomes on the sideline. Not saying, you're going to score quickly at times, whatever, but you're going to have to lean on these backs because you're going to have to – I want this offensive line, man, with or without Taylor, you got to wear down these guys up front for the Chiefs. And they got talent. I mean, Karlaftis might not be Trey Hendrickson, but he's a pretty good pass rusher. Chris Jones, he's a beast. Like, they got some guys up front that can cause some problems. Nick Bolton, another one, good linebacker. So, yeah, it's going to be on the run game this week. I just think this secondary, they're going to have to really – they're going to have to piece it together. They don't have Rashee Rice yet. I think he's back in like a week, so he's not back.
Yeah, you got lucky with that one, to be honest.
Yeah, and I'm very confident, to be honest, with I don't know how they're going to match up with Kelsey. I don't know if you put a linebacker on him or you drop – if Brian plays, maybe you put Brian on him. If they decide – it's tough. You put a linebacker on him. It's probably just a mismatch. But if they decide to, like – I like the way Anzalone and Jack has been this year in coverage. I feel pretty good about those guys dropping back in coverage, man. I do.
Real quick. Did you see the message I sent today about our linebackers with the doc?
Oh, yeah.
Am I the only one?
No, he also said in that clip, he was, I think he said offensive weapon. I think he was just spitballing. Because, like, why? They don't even need an offensive weapon. I mean, what are we doing?
I saw that reel today. I posted it. And obviously, I was just so dialed into the chat yesterday while the doc was talking for half of the time. But he goes, trade target. We need to go trade for a linebacker. We have two of the best in the league right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Doc was smoking something last night, I think. I don't know what was going on, but he was smoking something last night. I mean, he was. But they definitely don't need a linebacker. They got guys that can get after it. And they got fast sideline to sideline guys, which I love. Anzalone, Jack, and Derek are all sideline to sideline linebackers. Like, Mahomes is good. They've done this is the first I've been able to say this, I think, with this regime. I actually feel pretty good facing a mobile quarterback. I actually feel pretty good.
After the Lamar game, you feel very confident.
Yeah, I think with what Calvin has been able to do with this defense, it's just what it is. I feel a lot better, especially the way what the guys up front are playing. Aiden Hutchinson, like D-Dunk said, Hutch will destroy Jawan Taylor. I feel good with those guys. You got to contain them, but the way they've been playing mobile quarterbacks, I mean, they played Caleb, they played Jordan Love, guys that can move and scramble. They're not strictly all mobile. Lamar, obviously a freak. They were able to contain him to some extent, but guys that can dance in the pocket like Mahomes can. He's running around. Caleb's kind of like that on a much lesser level, but they've done a really good job. So I feel pretty good about this defensively, but the secondary is my biggest worry, man. Like those guys got to be able to hold it together because it could be that Chiefs receiver room is kind of like any given Sunday. Like it could be Hollywood Brown. It could be Tyquan frickin' Thornton. It could be Xavier Worthy. I mean, it could be Travis, and then Travis Kelce sprinkled in there at times. But they got a bunch of guys that can make plays. Like,
Yeah,
that's where I'm a little like, okay, getting them, it's going to be difficult, but this is what you have to do, man.
I'm interested to see like how they go about it, because we have seen obviously with Lamar, they use the kind of quarterback spy. I would think Lamar obviously is a little way more mobile than Patrick Mahomes, but Mahomes can cut you up easily. I wonder if they have something similar to what they did to Lamar, or if they kind of do it a little bit less, knowing like, hey, Lamar can run for 100 on you. Mahomes can get you for, 40 in a game, but it's 40 that counts, like it can hurt you. I'm interested to see how they go about that, especially with all the injuries in the secondary. It kind of does take away from a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah, like Alan says, I think they will take Amon-Ra St. Brown. Did you see Spags say, or his press conference about picking who they want to take out? I did not see that. I mean, I would assume Spags would say, I don't know, who you can't. I mean, who are you taking out? Who are you focusing on in this offense? Like,
Yeah. All right, please take Amon-Ra out. Guess what that does? Because a lot of people have been complaining about the JMO yards. I know today JMO actually touched on it. We'll have Kory on, and Kory actually asked him a question about, or asked JMO a question about, targets and all of that. The problem is the last 2 weeks, people have been taking JMO away, but what's been happening, Sam Laporta and Amon-Ra have been kind of going off. So, all right, take Amon-Ra out of the game. Sam Laporta and JMO will go off. Take Sam out of the game, JMO, Amon-Ra. So, it's a three-headed monster out there in the pass game, and you could try and take one away. Guess what? The other two will step up. You could try to take two away. Someone's always going to be open, and Jared's probably the best in the league at figuring out who to get the ball to. And those,
yeah, it's like who's one of the best safety blankets in the entire NFL is Amon-Ra St. Brown. When it comes to you're trying to blitz Jared Goff, it's like good luck. I mean, he's one of the best quarterbacks against the blitz. Which is that's why it's gotten to a point where teams are like, well, do we blitz him because he's just going to pick us apart, or do we just drop 7 and hopefully he makes mistakes? Like, I don't know what you want to do. It's like he's just going to kill you no matter what, pretty much, as long as he's protected, obviously, like most quarterbacks. Yeah. He's been doing that, and Spags is actually a defensive coordinator that wants to blitz a lot, so that's something to kind of pay attention to, though. But no, I did not see Spags talk about that. Let's see. Duncan. Oh, look at Duncan. Campbell might be an all-pro linebacker.
Oh, right? People are coming around a little bit. There we go.
Yeah, Nick P says you need to rush Mahomes, win on the field, and control possession. Well said, Nick. You have to. Duncan, that clock is the whole strategic game to Dan Campbell, right? Yeah. And Dan Campbell, speaking of that, too, like, we haven't seen it a lot. Fourth down watch. I'm just saying, watch those fourth downs this week.
They haven't really. I feel like the Lions haven't been in a position to where they've needed to really go all in on a fourth down. Now, I do think these next 2 games, like, you are in big football games, Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football.
Fourth down watch.
That's where those come out.
Yeah, that's where Dan is like, especially you see it a lot when the injuries were coming last year. He was like, well, the defense is getting banged up. Let's keep this offense on the field. Maybe if you're without some guys, maybe I
think it's a good mindset, actually. I think more coaches in every level should have the mindset of.
Did you see Fred Warner say something about that? Did you see that clip?
No.
He was on the Manning cast. Actually, I got to grab that. Would have been a great social post, actually. But he was on the Manning cast, and they showed I forgot what team it was. Oh, it was the Chiefs and Jags, and they went for it on fourth down. And Fred Warner was like, "You can thank Dan Campbell for this." Like,
there we go.
Like, Fred Warner, and then he's like, or he said Dan Campbell ruined the league, and he was like, "I'm just kidding." But he's like, and now every coach is literally doing it.
I do think there's a world, especially like the Jags, where it's like you have nothing to lose to try and win this game. Do everything you can to put yourself in a position to win the game. And it's like you're on the road in Kansas City, Arrowhead, versus Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Prime time. Yeah, Dan Campbell's going to try and go out there and have a couple extra possessions and steal a couple away. That's how I look at it. Even if you didn't have the injuries and anything, it's just you're essentially stealing a possession.
And you got to steal possessions with turnovers too. I mean, the reason the Jags were able to win is because not only Trevor Lawrence scored, but Devin Lloyd had a 90-whatever yard pick six. Like, they scored on defense. Like, that's what they're going to have to do again. So hopefully Kirby and Brian play. Those are your 2 best playmakers in the secondary. Like, you need those 2 out there. So, it'll be something to pay attention to. Before we have Kory join the show, I do have to tell you about our friends over at Comer and Cross. So allow me to do that real quickly. Our friends over at Coleman Cross, proud sponsor of the show. Their one-day installation for concrete floor coatings. They're the best in the business. And all you got to do is call the number 248-834-3488, and they will transform your pool deck, patio, basement, even your driveway. Because let's be honest, you're sick and tired of staring at your crack-stained garage floor. Well, Coleman Cross can help you fix that. 12 months, same as cash, or $500 off. Why put off getting your new Coleman Cross concrete floor? Call the number 248-834-3488. That's 248-834-3488. Or you can book your free estimate at comercross.com. Tell them your friends over at Crunch Time Sports sent you.
Hey, I just want to say something. Jackson Dart's pretty good, dude. He's good. He just ran it in for like a 15-yard touchdown. Giants just took the lead. He looks good.
Jackson Dart, man. I should have bet him as a rushing touchdown. Why did you do that?
I didn't put a lot on it. I had literally like $4 in my account left.
That's a good bet.
My DK account, I did. It was like $4 to win like 20. But I did Honch today when I was working with Honch today. He actually showed me a bet, and I put a couple bucks on it. It was literally it was Jackson Dart, Jalen Hurts, Theo Johnson, and Dallas Goedert. It was the two quarterbacks and the two tight ends, and it was like $10 to win like $1,600 or something like that. It's like an insane amount. And I was like, two quarterbacks, two tight ends. That feels very, in a game like this, divisional game, that feels like that happens quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, you should have known. Jackson Dart's young. He's going to use his legs a lot. And the Eagles, honestly, don't lose to the Giants. Those Giants are 1-4. You're 4-1. Better watch, man. Just saying.
Better watch out, man.
They got two rookies starting, Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo. That'd be a tough one. You lose that game.
I mean, that's good for the Giants. Think about how much positive, like, looking ahead for the Giants team. Like, we have these two young, like, that's crazy. Jackson Dart, that's your future.
Yeah,
Jackson Dart has like a little Josh Allen to him, and you know who started Josh Allen's career as his OC?
Yeah,
Brian Dable. So he knows how to use a quarterback like that, and he knows how to develop him and get him in the right spots. And so it's a good quarterback for Jackson Dart to have.
Yeah, he's got some swag to him, man. He's gonna be good. Him and Cam Scadaboo, they're gonna be good for the Giants. I like him too. I know he's there's quarterbacks in the NFC. That's why it's like there's a lot of young quarterbacks in the NFC that you're still kind of waiting on, but there's some guys here that can blossom into some really good players. You're kind of just waiting and seeing with a lot of them, but you still have like Jaden Daniels. We'll see if Caleb Williams is any good. Jackson Dart. I mean, Jordan Love's kind of on the fringe, but there's some guys that are young and good. You know, they could take another step because it seems like the top is Jared, like Jalen, Matthew. Who am I missing? Baker, obviously, but AFC's got all the quarterbacks, but the more these NFC teams suck, they're going to keep drafting quarterbacks, man. You're going to get some guys in the NFC now. That's how it is. Jackson Dart might be the next one. He might be the next one, dude. Luckily, like Drake May's in the AFC. He's a stud. Drake May's a stud.
He is. There's some good young quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
Yeah,
like, I'm pumped up to watch. I'm like watching Jackson Dart. It's thrilling. Like you get to kind of see like the new 20-yard touchdown run. Yeah, and I think Zach Bond was the one that missed him, an All-Pro.
Oh, did he really?
He was the quarterback. He was the spy, and Jackson Dart just Zach Bond.
Well, let me see. ETN says feels like the quarterback position is in a really good place. Could make the case that 16 quarterbacks are franchise guys.
Yeah, for a while too. I feel like it wasn't like that. There was definitely like a rollover, quarterbacks leaving the league and then trying to find new ones.
And now you have the rules changing, favoring offenses. Like quarterbacks are protected. You're going to see more guys. Guys are getting killed out there. ETN also says, I've seen enough. Jackson Dart over Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I will say that Jalen Hurts, they're going to get back to the run, dude. They threw a lot last game and lost. So it's like.
Yeah, especially with Saquon already started
38 times and lost.
Jeez.
So it's like that's not their recipe to win games. I mean.
Wait, they threw 38 times and he did not have a completion in the second half, correct?
That was 2
weeks ago. That's back-to-back weeks that and then a loss. It's tough. We'll see what happens. Yeah. I would just hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley every time tonight because he's averaging like 10 yards a carry already tonight.
You see the everyone was putting out there. He might be he's on pace for like 900 yards. You see that?
Yeah.
After
Saquon,
2000, he's gonna go off
man.
today.
Saquon, yeah.
Let's welcome into the show here. A good friend of ours, covers the Detroit Lions for MLive.com and the Detroit Pistons. Does both. Does great work. Our good friend Kory Woods. Kory, how are we doing, man?
Yo, what's going on? And yo, real quick, I am off Pistons this season, actually.
No Pistons. Oh, see, you need a
Nope.
break. Good for you, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, he's
done.
an absolute sicko. Yeah, good for you.
Wow.
Yeah, good for you, bro. I will say, Kory, this. I mean, we talked about at the beginning of the show. These injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell? I mean, it seemed like last year the D-line was suffering all these injuries, Kory. Now I checked the injury report today. I mean, you got like 19 guys in the secondary on the injury report. I mean, you got Brian, who was a little banged up, Kirby's banged up, Taron Arnold out, probably DJ Reed on IR. Now Maddox all of a sudden is a hamstring injury. What the hell's going on in this secondary? What's kind of like your concern level with what's going on there?
It's very interesting, to be quite honest. I mean, man, it's like a new name that pops up. I don't know if you guys have mentioned it. Khalil Dorsey, he's out as well.
Another one. Yep.
Yeah, so that's something to monitor. Kirby Joseph, he has the knee injury. He went from the sleeve to the bigger brace, so that's something to also monitor. But yeah, this secondary is banged up. It's just one of those bizarre things that is been kind of biting the Lions in the butt. As they're getting some of those guys in that front seven back, like Lee McNeil is on his way back. We've seen Malcolm Rodriguez around the building. Don't know if he's on his way back or not, but I mean, he's a guy that's expected to be back. So there's some of that front seven is coming back. Some of that secondary is going out. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, Kory, I do want to ask. I saw it today. You spoke with JMO, and obviously there's been all the conversations, and I saw the question you asked about the fan base. Trying to figure out if JMO, obviously he's not getting the targets, especially last week and then the week before they were kind of going at him and they weren't connecting. What are your thoughts on the JMO situation? And also too, Kory, what was the conversation like today with JMO? Did you feel like he was a little bit more positive and like, hey, I'm good to go no matter what, as long as we're winning football games?
Yeah, so I'll explain why I even asked JMO that question. What I asked JMO was from what I personally have seen, I'm not trying to stir nothing up, but from what I have seen, I saw fans were wondering like, oh, get JMO the ball. You need to get JMO the ball. Now, that could either be just some casual fans, that could be some fantasy owner guys, or probably some sports bettors, because, I mean, if people were actually really watching the game, they would know that the things that Dan Campbell, Kelvin Shepard, and even John Morton said today is very true. JMO is drawing two defenders. Teams are playing too high against them, so they're playing a shell coverage to keep them from going over the top. So if you got JMO going over the top, I mean, they got everything underneath. So I asked them, like, hey, for the fans the some fans are asking this, what do you have to say to them that are kind of worried about if you're worried about your targets? And he's basically kind of wiping it off because they're 4-1. They're sitting atop the NFC North. They have the NFL's number one. They're scoring the most points in the game, 34.8, and they're winning. And he's playing winning football. And even though he's not showing everything that some fans want to see in the stat sheets, is led to contributing to what they're doing so amazing right now. Like St. Brown is open, Laporte is open. He's freeing up everybody else. Jahmyr Gibbs. So I don't really make too much of anything of it. I think right now, the one thing is that he just wants to play. He wants to get past. He doesn't want to really talk about it anymore. It's just that, hey, they're winning. He got paid.
Yep.
Obviously, I mean, he's a player. He would like to make, probably would like some more touchdowns. You never know. But I mean, he got paid. He's making winning plays. He's one of the first players on the sideline to congratulate players that are scoring. And be the first one to celebrate there with them. So I don't really think it's anything serious. I think it's more so, like I just said, the fantasy owner fans, the people that are betting on their parlays, they're the ones that are probably upset that JMO's not getting touches. Anybody that's actually watching the game is understanding why the Lions, while Jared Goff is not dialing, getting the targets to him that they will probably want.
Yeah, Kory, that is me. I'm the FanDuel guy. All right, that's exactly me. I'm the guy bitching about the yards. Let me ask you this: quarterback matchup, Jared Goff, Mahomes. The way that Jared Goff's playing this season. He's first in passing touchdowns. He's balling. And we've already we've talked, plenty of people talked about what he's done this year with the new OC, new O-line. What's kind of been your thoughts on his level of play? I know he got hit Giovanni Manu gave up 2 sacks. One of them was pretty rough on Jared. He seems to be extremely just tough and resilient. What has kind of been your thoughts on how he's been playing this season? And I guess the likelihood, or I guess your confidence level, that he'll end up being in that MVP conversation once again this year, because he's on pace to have a massive year statistically.
Yeah, Goff didn't. I personally believe if Goff did not have that game last year against the Texans, he would have won MVP last year. That's really the only thing that he did bad during the regular season. But right now, Jared Goff is playing at an MVP arc, and it's not, I guess you can say, as sexy or whatever as how Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes have done it. But I kind of equate it to and I said this to a friend, he's like the NFL's version of Tim Duncan. It doesn't always look the greatest as far as highlights or whatnot, but it's efficient. So, and that's really what matters at the end of the day. I think that as long as he continues at the way he is right now and that line keeps him upright, he's going to be just fine. What more can you ask of him right now?
Yeah, and Kory, one thing, the biggest thing that Jeff and I have talked about, obviously the return potentially of Aleem McNeil. How do you see something we've kind of tried to figure out is how they're going to do this rotation inside, especially the interior of the defensive line. We already know kind of with AQM and Hutch how they're kind of doing the edges, but this interior, when Aleem returns, how do you see them kind of throwing this rotation in and out? Because Roy Lopez obviously is going to take a step back, but guys like DJ Reader and Tyleek, they've both been playing really good. So it's like, who do you pull snaps back from? How do you think they end up approaching this situation?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a great question. That also depends on how Aleem McNeil looks when he gets out there. I think a good sign that he's back on the way, that he's been a full participant lately. So I think that means he might be coming back. Out the gate, I don't think you need to throw him right into the fire. I think that, me and Ben talked about it today. I think maybe in that first game, maybe even the first couple of games, just roll him out there for about 15 or 20 snaps. Don't need to overload his play too much, because, again, you want to have that guy for the long haul. You did not have him towards the end of the season last year. So I would say put him on a pitch count to get him started. And then, as he continues to play, it is if his play continues to rise, he's showing that he's being productive, he's fully recovered, and everything is all good to go. Boy, does Casey Rogers have an abundance of riches, a great problem to worry about figuring that out. So I don't know how that would go. I would just assume that if Aleem is back to his normal self that was trending towards that Pro Bowl arc, you would probably end up starting him aside next to Reader, but they got ways that can get tricky with this.
Do you think too, Kory? The one thing that's interesting to me is going into this year, I think we all thought Mekhi Wingo was going to end up having not obviously a massive role, but some sort of role, and he's just been a healthy scratch. How do you see this thing going with Mekhi? Because it feels like there's no light at the end of the tunnel for him to get reps with how deep this room is, and he's just always now healthy scratches.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. That's something I was actually going to ask Dan tomorrow. So stay tuned on that one, because with the Aleem on his way back, he's going to be one of those healthy scratches. We also talked about it today, like a guy like Chris Smith. When Aleem comes back, that's a guy that's probably going right to the practice squad. He's one of the first people that you're going to probably mention. So I don't know how that's going to how that's going to affect the Wingo off the back, but it's definitely something I'm going to check. I'm going to ask about if I can get a question tomorrow. Yeah,
Kory, I do want to ask you about this Chiefs game. What's kind of your thoughts on the matchup? I know the Chiefs are favored by 2.5. They're at home. They're coming off a loss. What have you kind of made of the Chiefs and how they've looked this year? And what's your thoughts on this matchup and just maybe some players to watch with, maybe things you're concerned about?
Well, the thing I'm concerned about is that the Chiefs are really in a desperation mode. Where they are right now, it's not ideal for them. You go ahead, and I got them in a position they don't want to be 2-4. So, the concern I have is the secondary's banged up. They've already been giving up points late. They gave up 3 touchdowns in that fourth quarter to Jake Browning, and I think it's safe to say that this is not Jake Browning that they're about to go see on Sunday. And you have a desperate Chiefs team with a still lethal offense by Andy Reid. And for me, I have the Chiefs. I'm not gonna. I did when we did our season predictions. I had the Chiefs losing this game based on their desperation in the Lions secondary. I do have the Chiefs winning just because I think that Mahomes is going to be able to go ahead and test that secondary and really get some shots off. Because I mean, these guys are super banged up right now. But I will say this: Ben brought this up, and I got to give him the credit. If you're able to go ahead and roll Aleem McNeil out there for like about 15 to 20 snaps, this will be the game to do it. I was initially against it, but this is be the game to do it because of that second year. If you can go ahead and pressure him and get him into some situations you don't want to, things might be able to go in your favor. But I had the Chiefs winning 35-28. I don't know if I'm going to flip-flop or not, but I'm going to stick with my prediction for right now just because I just have concerns about the secondary.
Yeah, something else too going into this game. Obviously, the offensive line a little beat up, especially Taylor Decker kind of going for the next few weeks potentially. What are your thoughts on this O-line, Corey? Is it going to be a Dan Skipper? Obviously, they just signed him. Is it going to be like Dan Skipper show at that left tackle spot?
I think that Dan Skipper could see some time, but I think honestly that if Taylor Decker's not going, and I think they should play Taylor Decker, I think Manu's going to go ahead and get that start again. I mean, you got to think about this. His first start he had to deal with Trey Hendrickson. I mean, like, that's tough for anybody. That's tough for people that have been a seasoned vets to have that assignment. So to have him in his first game, I mean, like, what a litmus test. So one thing that we saw in week 1 was that, a guy like Christian Mahogany, he struggled. And he said he took that week, got everything that he needed to get correct with Hank Fraley, and boom, he's been smooth sailing since. I think that, Manu, they're going to go ahead and give him another chance to, I don't want to say redeem himself, but, to go out there and get some more experience. Now, they did bring Skipper up. I think if things start to look a little bit too bad, then you can go ahead and say, okay, they'll probably pull a Manu out and put Skipper in because he has the experience. He's been around. He knows, he knows the ins and outs, but I don't see them pulling Manu that quickly because, I mean, it was Trey Hendrickson. It was a tough Cincinnati front. No, don't kill his confidence that quickly.
Well, we appreciate the hell out of you, Corey, for taking the time to join. Even though a lot of things are happening, Red Wings are on, Pistons preseason, and Thursday Night Football. I always appreciate you. Keep up the great work, and we will talk to you very soon, my friend.
All right, have a good one.
There you go. Kory Woods, MLive.com, covers the Detroit Lions, not the Detroit Pistons anymore. Well, Corey's been doing both, so he's an absolute unit.
No more Pistons. Yeah, it's a
good friend of the show.
Breaking news. I wonder if he just broke that for the first time on our show. That feels like big news.
I mean, it seems like the Giants came to play today while we were interviewing Corey. Jackson Dart.
Back-to-back touchdown drives.
Yeah. I mean,
look good. Yeah. Eagles are about to score now, potentially. It's either going to be 13-10 or 13-6 here in a minute. So
yeah, Jalen Hurts just turned it on. 30-yard completion to Brown, 23-yard completion to Dallas Goedert, and 8-yard completion to Devonta Smith. So now they're kind of working back. But Giants are giving them a run for their money right now. The Eagles just score.
Dallas Goedert. 2 of those 4 touchdowns already in the first quarter have hit. I literally just need Theo Johnson and Jalen Hurts. That feels pretty big, huh?
How much? What's the odds on that?
It was like plus 1,600 or something. I put $5 on it because it was just like a sprinkle. It was like $5 to win like 900 or something, or like 850 or something like that. It was like 1650 or 1670.
That's insane.
If this hits, that would be insane, dude. That's Hans too in the chat. I don't know if he's watching, but yeah, that's so funny, dude. If that hit, that would be one of the most incredible. It's like plus 16,000, I think, is the.
Yeah, you said 1,600. 16,000.
Yeah, no. Let me check. Yeah, let me pull it up real quick.
Damn. Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
that's crazy. Yeah, the Eagles just made it 10-13. Or 13.
oh, that's
Giants are up.
nuts, dude. Imagine if this hits. I could cash out for $50.
$5 to win.
5 to 50. I'm keeping it, dude. It's plus 16,389. 5 to win 825. That's incredible. There's 2 more. Jalen Hurts. Imagine on this drive Theo Johnson gets in, and I just need Jalen Hurts the rest of the game. Wow, that would be something.
Jalen's gonna happen.
You would think, right? I don't know. You would think, but
it's really just Theo Johnson.
Theo scored 3 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks with Jackson Dart. It's his tight end.
Oh, he has.
Yeah, dude. Theo's been the guy for Jackson. It's his tight end 1.
Gage says, how many Hall of Famers are currently on the Lions? St. Brown, Sewell, Hutch, Kirby, Goff, etc. We have a historically sacked team.
He's missing one.
Wait, which one did he miss? St. Brown, Sewell, Hutch, Kirby, Goff. Who else would you say?
Who do you think I'm talking about?
There's no. I mean, who? Brian Branch.
Well, Brian is going to have an opportunity.
Well, I was going to say because he's not yet. I wouldn't say yet.
He wasn't who I was thinking.
Who? I don't know.
My guy.
Oh.
You don't think so?
Hall of Fame?
Dan Campbell?
Oh, I thought you just said Jack Campbell.
A. Campbell.
Oh, yeah. Well, Dan, if he wins like a Super Bowl or 2, like if he playoff wins.
Jahmyr Gibbs is a good one too. Yeah, Jameer's not on that list.
Yeah, I would say guys that I'm confident will make it. I think St. Brown, Sewell, Hutch, Kirby.
Purple Prince said, I thought he was talking about Trevor Nowaski.
Watch out, Nowaski.
He'll be in the SVSU Hall of Fame, I'm sure.
Yeah, you know what I will say, actually, and I actually tweeted this out, and this is I want to put this on the show because we're talking about the offense. I don't think it's crazy to say Jared, he's gunning for that MVP award, I think, this year, man.
Great. Did you just tweet this out?
Yeah, I put this out like 40 minutes ago. Or no, an hour ago, actually. It was before the show. But I tweeted out Detroit Lions quarterback Jared Goff could legitimately win MVP, the current pace he's on. These are his stats stretched out roughly over 17 games. 41 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions, over 4,000 passing yards, and the Lions are on pace to win 13, 14 games. I mean, those are MVP numbers, 41 and 7.
I have such a hard time. I took so much hate over the last 12 months from you and Klotz and everyone in our group chat that we had. So much hate about Jared Goff for being a gobbler and a slappy, when my whole argument at the end of the day was this tweet that you put out there that like last year he threw for 4,500 yards, 36 touchdowns. He only had the one game where he had 12 interceptions or 3 or 4 interceptions that put him at 12, where he was almost under 10, and they went and won 15 games. This exact scenario, and I know it's this scenario, and you could be like, well, the teams they play, because that was my argument going into this year with Jared Goff to win MVP, was they play better games. This scenario, which you just put out there, Jeff, that tweet was my argument last year for Jared Goff to not. I didn't even say win at the time because I knew it was a stretch because he's not a mobile quarterback, and those are the guys that win MVP. But that was my whole point last year of Jared becoming an MVP candidate, top 5 votes, was he's going to throw 35 plus touchdowns. 40 is incredible if he does that, but 35 to 40 is massive at that. 4,500 yards last year in 15 games. Like, he deserves the respect. I think last year in the votes, he got a little bit of the respect. That's why he was a finalist for it. I think this year, if he does it again for a second straight year, Jeff, and he puts these numbers up and he doesn't have as many interceptions, in the schedule that they have after the offseason of people doubting them and a new coordinator, then I think that's when Jared starts getting more respect. I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to be an MVP finalist again, without a doubt.
Because I think what he has to do, and actually Justin Rogers brought this up, is if you're not mobile, you have to win if you're going to win the MVP award, you have to win it like Aaron Rodgers did. Like Aaron Rodgers, when he won MVP, he had like 44 touchdowns and 5 picks. Like you have to have an insane touchdown to interception ratio. So if Jared's going to win it, I think he has to have 40 plus TDs. He has to have I think 7's the perfect amount of picks. Like he can't be like,
I think under 10, single digits, I think is
single
a very,
digit
very
picks,
good number.
over 40 TDs, close to 5,000 passing yards. And if they win like 13, 14 games with this schedule, and I tweeted this out, he has to play well in these primetime games. That's the next big thing for him. Because last year, and Kory mentioned it, what hurt him is that Texans game. He had 5 picks. Sunday night against the Chiefs, Monday night against the Bucs, Sunday night against the Eagles. If they win these games, or at least 2 of 3, and he plays well in all 3 of them, that helps. Because when you throw 5 picks, I don't care if you win or not. You throw 5 picks on a nationally televised game, that's going to
people
hurt
are going to know. Yes,
yeah,
and your numbers change a little. That was like last year. I talked about. Remember, I broke down like going in at the time the 49ers before the season. That was supposed to be a big game, and then obviously it didn't turn into one. But remember, I said, hey, if he stays in that narrative of MVP conversation come the last 3 or 4 games last year, he's going to have an opportunity. It was like the Bills, 49ers, and another team, the Vikings. He's going to have another opportunity. He's going to have an opportunity to become the MVP last year, which it happened. He was in the conversation. That Texans game kind of railroaded that. I think this year it's the same thing. That's been my theory when it comes to these awards is it's just like when you are national televised and you are in big games, when the nation can see you do it, especially these voters who don't get to watch every game because there's 15 games a week, 12 to 15 with bye weeks, games a week. It's a lot of games to watch. They definitely, no matter what, every single voter is tuned in to these these Thursday nights, these Sunday nights, these Monday nights, and even these next 2 weeks, Jeff. Like he's right now being talked about every single MVP conversation I see right now. It's him, Baker, Josh Allen. Who else is there? Those are probably the 3 right now that I'm seeing talked about the most, which is insane.
And Lamar's hurt, so he's out of the race.
Mahomes, you can argue though. I mean, they're 2 and 3, but he's had a good couple weeks here. I've seen his name get thrown out there. So like there are names out there that are there, but like Jared's getting talked about to win the MVP. Like people are pushing that narrative, and especially with the position he's in. If Sunday night game this week, think about this, Jeff. Actually, this is a perfect setup. You have Sunday Night Football versus the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, right? An MVP, one of the best in the league. You go out there, throw for 250 yards, and you go, if he goes another 21 for 25, 2 or 3, he doesn't have to have 3 touchdowns. It's 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and they win the game. Okay, the conversations stick up. Okay, wait a second. What's going on with Jared Goff? You know who else is in the MVP conversation right now? Baker Mayfield. Who do you play Monday Night Football after you play Kansas City? You go to Tampa and you play Baker Mayfield. Right there, that's MVP
that's
matchup.
At home. It's
at home? Okay, I thought it was in Tampa. So you're at home. That's a MVP matchup right there at the moment, which is crazy. No one ever thought that was going to happen, but it is. And you go head to head with another MVP candidate. If he goes into the next week, puts up another 250, puts up another 3 touchdowns, takes care of the rock, 25 for 29, you just outplayed Baker Mayfield, one of the other MVP candidate. You now are the leader to win MVP. It's you and Josh Allen.
Well, guess what? There's another player in that race who, by the way, he does play, Matthew Stafford. He's like first in passing yards, and it depends how many games they win, but he's up there in MVP. And you play the Rams, so he plays like he don't play. The only one he doesn't play is Josh Allen. That's the only MVP he doesn't play, but he plays everyone else. And Josh Allen, like when you look at losses, a loss to the Patriots, I mean that's brutal. Patriots they're a fine team, but that was tough, So he's going to have some stains too, and I think for him to win, I think the interesting. And I know someone asked, will he be a Hall of Famer? Like I think for Jared, because Matthew's going to win he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, and the reason why I think Matthew's going to be in the Hall of Fame is because he's going to be top 5 in passing yards, whatever it is. He's going to have a Super Bowl, or he already has a Super Bowl. For Jared, I think for him, if Jared can win a Super Bowl. When it's all said and done, he's throwing 4,500 yards a year. He's had, 7 different offensive coordinators, whatever it is, play callers. I know he had Sean McVay, but he had different OCs. He has the production. He's going to have a shit ton. He's going to have thrown a shit ton of touchdowns. Like if he wins a ring and wins Super Bowl MVP on top of all what he's done statistically, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities that the dude could be in the Hall of Fame. Like
no, especially if
it's hard to get into it, but I think that would be enough for it. there's a better chance. You got to win it. You got to win a ring.
Yeah, if he does win a ring and an MVP, it's in a Super Bowl MVP.
Well, then the MVP
you're
would be
in.
like the what do you call it? The nail in the coffin. If you win an MVP, yeah. I mean,
it's like that, and especially too, like he's not probably close to done playing. I don't think so. So like he's going to have a lot. His numbers are going to be up there. So yeah, I'm right there with. I think there's an opportunity. He has to do that first. You have to win. You have to win the Super Bowl. If he can, I mean, I think it's just it's so shocking to me, Jeff. And I don't mean this in a bad way. It's just shocking to me that I love when the tides turn a little bit. I enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? Like you've been on sides of conversations and takes to where it's like everyone's against you, and then the tides start to turn a little bit, and you're like, hey, well, it's like, oh, sick. It's like eating at like a lunch table at high school by yourself, and then all of a sudden, just people start sitting by you. You're like, what's happening here? Like, what's going? It's how it feels.
There's times, and I think there's also like it has to be the right time to say. Sometimes you're early, not you, but we can be early on takes where you say a take, and a year later it makes more sense. Like,
I mean, last year my take was literally just finalist, and what happened?
Yeah, and that was it was a good take. But like some takes, I'll say, the Jags are going to be good, and they stink, and this year they're good. It's like, okay, well,
year late, Colts,
a year, yeah. So I just, I think for him, he has to throw 40 TDs. I mean, you can't get away. There's going to be like Baker's going to have 40 this year, dude. Again, he's going to have 40 touchdowns, and he's doing less. He's doing more with less. He has less. I mean, he has injuries. But Bucky Irving's out. I think this week. Offensive line banged up. Now they're back, but yeah, he's got the narrative already written for him. I got to tell you about our friends over at Sleeper, and then we can get into our conversation, matchups, players that we're looking forward to seeing on this Sunday Night Football. But I have to tell you about a sponsor of the show, and that is Sleeper, because they are the best fantasy sports app out there, and you should be playing fantasy, and you should be using Sleeper to do it. They bring people together through sports and gaming. It's become one of the fastest organically growing platforms in the world when it comes to fantasy sports. They have millions of active users, and they still earn some of the highest levels of engagement per user in the industry. At Sleeper, it's not just about sports, it's about building personal connections. They have Sleeper Picks as well, which is a real money product that connects friends over picks. Choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players from pregame, live, or even across different sports. You pick more or less than the predicted stats on Sleeper. You can get up to 1,000x payouts. Share with your friends, get rewarded together. They also have a awesome promotion going on that is live right now. A brand new promotion that can be paired with the 100% deposit match promo that's been going on, which you see there. Use the code CT Sports. You get 100% match up to $100. But they have a new offer. Free $20, no deposit required. Plus, first-time users will also receive 100% deposit match up to $100. Sleeper's taking care of their people. That's why we love them. Shout out to them for sponsoring the show as always. Did anything happen in this Eagles-Giants game real quick?
I mean, they're just Eagles are marching down the field again. Their run game. Someone in the chat said, "Booner, you jinxed them." The Saquon in their run game just isn't really getting much going at this point. They were Saquon, I think, just like off the rip right away he had an 18-yard run and then he's 38 total. But since then, they just haven't gotten anything going, and they're going now. I don't know. Dallas Goedert's kind of going off right now. He already has like 50 yards at the moment. If I get a Dallas Goedert, we already have a Dallas Goedert touchdown. I need a Jalen Hurts touchdown. If Jalen Hurts scores a touchdown, Jeff, we're on Theo Johnson watch the rest of the night. We're like big Theo Johnson watch.
Johnson watch.
That's major Theo Johnson watch if this happens.
Yeah, where are they at right now? Let me see. They're at the 10-yard line.
Yeah. And by the way, too, I think the Wings
12-yard line.
Wings are, I think, now down 4-1, I believe.
Yep, the Wings are getting clapped. So
I'm a team this year. I know. We already talked about the playoffs and everything with them.
Same shit, different day.
Yeah, I mean it's the game one. They're going to figure this thing out a little bit. Give them a little bit of grace.
They got you too. They got you too.
I listen. This is my thing with the Wings, and I think a lot of Detroit sports fans feel the same way. I would do anything. I don't know about anything because that's it. But like I would do a lot for the Red Wings to be back. Like for Hockey Town to be Hockey Town again. It would be incredible. I remember just growing up, that was always like they were the best team. And when you look at like all these other, like the Tigers were for a little bit when they went to the World Series and that little run they had. But like the Wings, since I was I was born in 97. I remember the first time I can remember sports. It was like my family and the Red Wings growing up. And that was all the way until I was in high school. And this for the last however many years, they've just been just absolutely brutal, dude. Brutal. So that's what's I want the Wings to be back. I'm tired of hearing one of my least favorite things in the world to ever hear, and I hate it the worst, is Klotzy doing this little nah going at the Wings. Yeah, I don't ever want to hear that again in my life. I want the Wings to win a Stanley Cup so I never have to hear Klotz say that again.
Stevie, bye.
That's it, dude. That is legit. I don't ever want to hear that. I want Hockey Town to be back. I really do. And I'm hearing people this year being like, hold on, Jalen Hurts is scrambling. Okay, nothing. I saw like people this year, like they don't make the playoffs. Hockey Town will never be a thing again. Like we're stripped of the name. Like, dude, like I just be good. Just be good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean Mark Royal, Wings will not be good until they get a competent goalie.
Yeah.
And just be better defensively in general. I mean, that's the problem.
Can't kill it. Like that's I turned the game on. I turned it on a couple times here throughout the show and as well right before I left. And they're doing the tush push from the 3-yard line right now.
Fuck it. Why not? They just tried it.
Incredible, dude. And I guess the first down's at the 2-yard line. They should literally just tush push. They have 2 yards to go to the end zone. They should just tush push one play for a yard and then the next play for another yard.
Telling you, that's the Jalen Hurts TD. It's coming.
Yeah. So that's the Wings for you. I don't know how to feel about that. Yeah. I think they're going to be fine. I don't think it's 5-1 now. 5-1 going and heading into the third. Yeah. So they lost. What an L.
Yeah, that's great. That is awesome. That is awesome.
He said, that's great.
Awesome. I love that. Love that.
They're legit doing the tush push again at the 2-yard line. It's insane.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is 12 of 14 for $146 and a touchdown. I mean, he's
having a good game. He's slinging it.
Yeah, I can't say nothing about that. He's having a good game. And he's averaging 10 yards of completion. So it's like he is.
Yeah, but like, again, he does this, and it's just like people think he's like the greatest thing ever. No, he should be doing this. You have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert and Saquon and the best offensive line in football. You should be. This is what you should do every week. The fact that he doesn't have an MVP yet with the roster offense that they have is insane.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
They push it again?
They're in the huddle right now. I got to shut the chat off just for a minute because the chat's probably ahead, and I naturally want to get that. What is it? What is the juice called?
The raw reaction.
The emotion of it. Yeah, if he gets in. All right, I think he got a first down, and they're going to be at the 1.5-yard line or the 2-yard line. This is the problem. They're not going to tush push from the 2-yard line.
Run it, give to Saquon.
I need Jalen Hurts for plus 16,000, dude.
Okay.
What are you talking about? Give it to Saquon.
Well, I have a Saquon in a parlay.
I know, but like, dude, how much is your parlay worth?
I won't root for anything, but if it happens, I will not be mad.
How much is your parlay worth? What do you win?
It's not $800.
What do you win though?
It's my parlay's plus 272.
But what do you win? I don't just say how much you win.
That's the odds. It's plus 272.
But how much do you win?
It's not more than what you're making.
But what I'm saying is I will pay you if you cheer for my touchdowns and my bet. I will pay you your bet if mine hits.
Yeah, that's why. You know what?
That's why I'm asking you how much yours is because I will give you whatever it is. So you don't have to sit there and cheer for yours.
$400. That's
okay. We'll split it 50-50. How is that not a touchdown? Sorry, we're losing viewers.
Wait, Jalen Hurts just got a touchdown. It says on the app.
I mean, I'm not there yet. I'm behind. I said I want to feel the touchdown emotion, dude. There's no way you just did that after I just shut the chat off and you just. I mean, that's like spoiling a movie. I'm like about to go to the theater to see a movie, and you're like, "Hey, that guy dies at the end." How crazy is that? And like, dude, I'm actually going in to see the movie.
I genuinely thought for some reason you were not behind. I thought we were.
Hans just texted me too.
This guy's trying. He just ruined it. That's funny. Oh, that's hilarious.
We literally just need Theo Johnson. Should I cash out?
What's it at?
I don't know. It hasn't updated yet.
You should. I would cash out and just place a bet on Theo. That's how I always think. But I'm not going to influence your decision.
I got to see what it is. I love riding these big ones. Is Hans in the chat?
Hans is over there texting you, probably like.
He just texted me again. I just said in all caps, we just need Theo Johnson. He just hits me with the yes, sir. Just so calm, cool, and collected.
You just need Theo Johnson to cash a big one.
This would be this would be one of the greatest hits in my life. To be
they're going to be
honest.
throwing if they're. I mean,
I've hit 4 bigger, but plus 16,000 is that. That's that one. 16,000 is incredible. I'm gonna text this shot. Should we cash?
Wheezy D. He said, "Quote: I love riding these big ones." Is the
Okay, come on. Let's not. I mean, what we're talking about betting here. We come on, Wheezy D. That's tough, man.
I mean, we are children, man. This is just. I mean, what kind of operation?
I think I just saw someone tweet out and said 4 minutes of 4 minutes of the tush push. I think the Eagles literally just did the tush push 4 straight times, took 4 minutes off the clock every time.
What do you think about the tush push? Is that shit?
I hate it personally. Obviously, I like it for touchdowns there, but I would rather it be out of the game. And I actually do think, if I'm being honest, I think it's done after this is the last year of it. Because remember when we were at the there was a lot of conversations when we were at the combine, and then the league meetings were like a couple weeks later. And then at the league meetings, remember they said they needed 24 out of 32 teams or something. And I think they had like, this isn't exact number, but I think they had like 16 to 18. They had about half of the league that voted to get rid of it. I feel like this year, after what's happened over the last few weeks, a lot of teams, there was like the false starts that weren't called. There was the offsides of players lining up offsides. It felt like remember who's the analyst guy? Was it Dean Blandino or Mike Pereira? One of them both. I don't remember which one it was, but one of them, they were covering the Eagles game and they asked him about the tush push because they were lined up off sides and the refs didn't call it. And he just right away was just like, I'm done with the tush push. Like this was getting out of hand. And he says it's not. Actually, it makes a lot of sense. Actually, Jeff, he brought up the analogy of. They banned you're not allowed on certain on field goals. You're not allowed to push certain guys or there's certain plays as a defense. You're not allowed to or actually brought up how they blow the whistle dead if you're on defense and trying to push a player back and to lose yards. And he says it doesn't make sense if defensively you're not allowed to push a player back and they blow the whistle dead, but on offense you're allowed to push. They're allowed to push you forward or something like that. What he brought up. It made a lot of sense. And he was like, it has nothing to do with players getting injured. It has to do with it's a competitive advantage that the defense it's something that's just not fair at the end of the day because it's impossible because of the way the rules are and lining up. And he says at that point, there's been plays in the NFL that have been taken out in football because of competitive advantages. So I think it's done. I think it's this is the last year of it. Enjoy it. If you like it, it's over with after this year.
Yeah, well, there's false start problems too with it because you run into these issues where false start's almost impossible to call. I mean, they're just there's false starts on so many of the plays.
It's every single time they do it, offsides, they're lining up over the line.
Yeah, it's bad. So they'll probably end up banning it. We'll see. I do want to get to our matchups for the game on Sunday. What are some matchups, players that you're looking to kind of step up on Sunday against the Chiefs? Who do you have in mind?
Real quick, I can cash out $5 to cash out for 100.
Or it's 800?
Or it's 800.
See, I would cash out. If it was me.
But if Theo Johnson scores a touchdown, I'm keeping it. I don't really care. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it.
Do whatever you want. You do whatever you want.
Let's get it, Theo. What number is Theo Johnson? Is he in now?
He is, let me see. He is number 84. 84.
Okay. We got to keep a big eye on 84.
Keys to Wisdom said 20 times your money.
Yeah, that is 20-1 right there, huh?
I mean, that's.
I'm going to send it to the group and ask the boys.
That's, yeah. I mean, oof. You do that's a business decision. That's what that is. So, well,
all right, sorry. This is a lot of money. This is a lot. I'm so sorry. We have a show. That's on me.
Okay. Matchups, players you're looking to watch on Sunday against the Chiefs.
I think the biggest one, I think this is going to be, I think the number one matchup. Can I do a group? I mean, I know we go players, but I just think the offensive line, especially interior offensive line versus Chris Jones and that front seven there. It's not even just Chris Jones, but the front seven that they have there in Kansas City. It feels like it's one of the better, fronts in football, especially when you have Spags in there. No, Spags not in there, but as the DC, he knows how to set these guys up and he knows how to, cover blitzes up and disguise all these different things. I think the number one thing offensively, like if you want to get going offensively versus a Chiefs team, dude, at the end of the day, like you have to be able to, establish the run, but you have to protect Jared Goff at the end of the day, and you have to let him sling the rock. To me, it just comes down to, are they able to protect Jared Goff versus guys like George Karlaftis, Chris Jones, those types of dudes. I see here, Drew Tranquil has 2 sacks right now. Like these guys get after it, and they know how to do it. They've all done it at high levels in the Super Bowl. So I think, to me, Jeff, that's the number one matchup. Because if you offensively can do that and step up and do that, you're going to have a chance to win this football game, no matter what happens with Patrick Mahomes in your defense and all those injuries.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I think the interior of the offensive line is a big one because, Chris Jones can wreck a game on his own, even though he's had up and down. He's had an up and down year so far. I think when you talk about matchups in the ball game that you have to keep an eye out, for me, it would be Tyquan Thornton, whoever's guarding Tyquan Thornton. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I think Amik Robertson will probably be guarding him. Tyquan Thornton, he is averaging, let me see. The Lions have done a really good job of not allowing big plays. Tyquan Thornton is averaging 20.9 yards a catch, which is 10th in the NFL. 20.9 yards a catch. He averaged 30 yards a catch against the Jags. He had a game where he averaged 29 yards a catch against the Eagles. He had a game where he averaged 20 yards a catch against the Chargers. Tyquan Thornton is going to be the matchup. Whoever's guarding him, Amik Robertson or whoever, because he can run. I think, let me check what he actually ran at the combine. He ran a 4.28. They have 2 guys that run 4.2s. And Tyquan Thornton is one of them. At 6'2". He's 6'2". So I think that cornerback matchup, whoever's guarding Tyquan, Hollywood Brown, I think just cornerback, wide receiver, that's the big one for me when we're talking about matchups. I think that's something that they're going to have to be keyed in on, because if you're allowing big plays, you're going to have some issues with this offense. They just are. So yeah. Tyquan Thornton is a player. I know Caleb jokingly mentioned him a lot during our watch parties when we bet on the NFL, but he's absolutely right. Tyquan Thornton's a burner.
Who do you think it's on? Who's on him? I'm guessing Amik.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go Amik. I mean, or Hollywood Brown's another one. It's like Hollywood Brown's probably a better matchup for Amik. Rock Ya-Sin's probably a better matchup because he's bigger. But it's
going to be a battle. That corner to wide receiver matchups all night is going to be a battle.
Hold on. Rock Ya-Sin ran a 4.51. Let me see, 40. And then Amik Robertson ran a 4.45. So he can run. I mean, that's tough. I mean, you don't even have, I mean, you're just trying to throw together speed here. I mean, there's
I think it's guys. Okay. Is this crazy? Are you able to see, I don't know on PFF, like how much man and zone that this defense has played the last week or so, or 2 weeks? I'm interested to see if it's something where it's like, hey, we can't really man up, especially with all these injuries. We have to rely on our safeties. We have to rely on, kind of guys helping each other out here at the end of the day. Because I just don't see a world where you're just, hey, man to man, like you're going to get cooked. I mean, and it's no offense.
So the Lions have ran 32.6%. Let me see, just making sure. Yeah, okay, this is correct. Okay, this is updated. All right, so man coverage, the Lions have ran it 32.6% of the time, and 63.5% of the time they've ran zone coverage.
Okay.
So they're about a 64, I guess like 64, or it's really what, like 65-35.
They're in man.
They're in zone.
Oh, 65% they're in zone?
Well, yeah, because it was 63.5, but I'm just rounding it up because there's a couple other percentages that are kind of in there as well. But majority zone, 60% zone, 30% man coverage.
Was it that same number last year?
I might be the opposite, complete opposite.
That's what I'm thinking.
Man coverage.
Shep is just like shocking. Is that not? It's a big change.
Yeah, they've ran. Well, they're running a lot. They run a lot more base defense, so they probably, they have it so where last year they had more DBs on the field. They're probably running more man. They have more linebacker. They have a linebacker extra on the field. They're probably dropping into coverage a little more.
Yeah.
So it works. Yeah, he's changed up the scheme a little bit.
And that gives me more confidence then going into Sunday night is if you have it, especially with the corners that, you have down, no TA probably, obviously no DJ Reed, gives you a little bit more, in my opinion, if you're in a zone, you're not having to go essentially one-on-one with Tyquan Thornton or Hollywood Brown and have CB 3, 4, 5 in those positions.
Yeah, because they're probably, honestly, if you think about it, Dan always says we're a man coverage team, but I think their identity, they want to be a physical man coverage team, but they throw in a lot of zone. I think what Calvin's doing is actually really good for this defense. I think he's utilizing his personnel really well, really well. And I know I keep seeing Tariq Woolen. People keep talking about Tariq Woolen. I'm trading for Tariq Woolen. Tariq Woolen's not coming to the Lions, man. He's not. And he's not.
I think that's all dead, yeah.
But he's not even he's having a terrible year this year.
If I'm being honest, I don't even think, I know a lot of people wanted Greg Newsome before he went to the Jags. I don't know where you're at with this. I'm not in a bad spot to be trade for a corner. If you can get by to get TA and DJ Reed back, then I'm fine with it.
Yeah, Trey Flowers is fast. Tariq Woolen is really fast, but Trey Flowers, it's whatever. But Tariq Woolen's not having a massive year. And Greg Newsome, that was a weird trade. They basically swapped corners.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you never really see that, and it is kind of weird. They basically swapped corners, which Tyson Campbell this year, he hasn't been that good for the Jags, but yeah, that was a weird trade. But they're not going to trade for a DB. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so as well. I think they just want to get guys healthy and back. If you're trading for anyone, I think it's going to be probably another defensive edge rusher, and then an offensive lineman. Those would be the two. I do think they make a trade at the deadline. I saw a lot of people earlier in the show here with saying, hey, I don't think the Lions are going to make a move. What are they going to do? Deadline is in a couple of weeks. It's, I think, what is it, Jeff? November 4th, I texted you boys the other day.
Yeah.
Feels a little early. I don't know how early that is compared to other leagues. It feels a little earlier, to be honest. I would think maybe it's in December. But I do think over the next 3 or 4 weeks, the Lions and Brad, they're going to – I don't think Brad looks at it as, hey, we need position of need. We saw a couple years ago – with DPJ that, with DPJ, they literally just – was it DPJ they got, or who was it that they traded for from the Browns?
It was
DPJ. Yeah, and it's you really didn't need a wide receiver, but guess what they did? They went and got him anyways. And you need an edge rusher. So I think Brad's just going to look around and see if there's any spots that, guys that are on good deals that they can do. I do think there's going to be a trade, though.
Yeah,
not a linebacker like the doc said.
No, not a linebacker, not an offensive weapon. No. even like left tackle, like Motown Sports, like people aren't trading around tackles though.
But if there's one available, I think that you make the move. I do.
Left tackles like edge. Rare. If one gets traded, he ain't that good.
To be fair, it's not like when I say left tackle, I'm not saying trade for a starting caliber left tackle. It's trade for depth. Someone that's better. Let's say you trade for a left tackle that's better than Giovanni Manu and Dan Skipper, because you have no one else. So you just trade for another tackle that upgrades that position behind Taylor Decker. That's how I look at it. Shut the chat off just while Giants are in the red zone. Theo Johnson's in the red zone right now. His favorite target, Jackson Dart's favorite target, is Theo Johnson in the red zone. So do not give anything away.
I'm not.
But I'm watching Theo Johnson closely here.
I'm not.
I'm watching closely.
Now I just want to pause this entire show just to see if this hits.
They're at the 10-yard line right now. It's Theo Johnson's zone.
They're moving the ball in the Eagles though, man.
Yeah. I have a whole half due to hit Theo Johnson. I don't think there's a world I cash out. I don't think there is. I enjoy riding out these types of bets. I said that way.
I respect it.
You know what Uncle always says, Gentry, never cash out.
Yeah, but
that's what Vegas wants. They want you to cash out. You don't do it.
They do want you. They do want you to cash.
That's why they offer the money. Is they're scared. That's why. Especially when they offer you more, and you're sitting there going, "Well, this is a lot." It's because they're like, "We need to get out of this because Theo Johnson's going to score a touchdown." You know what I'm saying? They're going to hand this ball off though. Come on, Theo. Just one time for me. I'll never hit these big ones. All right, we can keep the show rolling. I apologize.
No, we got Raj joining us in 6 minutes. I mean, what's going on in the game?
Tush push. Quarterback sneak.
The Giants whipping out the tush push?
It was really just a quarterback sneak. Can I just get Theo Johnson? One time. One time. I just texted the boys too. Klotz said no shot. I said, do I cash out? He said no shot. Klotz has spoken. Lukas Klotz has spoken.
You were waiting for someone just to say no.
I just need, that's it.
Because me and Easy said yeah.
You and Easy said cash out. And I need one person just to be like, no, ride that thing out. We move at dawn. Is that the saying?
We ride at dawn.
We ride at dawn. This is incredible. Imagine this thing hits right now.
Oh my gosh.
My luck, it's like, I don't know. Is it Wan'Dale Robinson gets a touchdown? Another one? Theo. Oh, whoever that. Theo wasn't even on the field. They were throwing it, and they had two tight ends on the field. Theo, he's their tight end one. He's not even on the field. In a play action. Your best tight end, not on the field.
Dude, shout out Hunch, man. Said I'm that guy.
Dude, Theo wasn't even on the field for that play. They had three tight ends out there. And your tight end one's not out there. You have three tight ends on the field. Maybe it was just two. But either way, you have your tight end 2 and 3 on the field. Is Theo out there? Theo's not out there again, Jeff.
Oh, no.
It's second and goal. Theo's not out there. Get him. Scatterboo just scored a touchdown.
You got to think, Boone, like how many points are the Giants going to score today? So, they're already at 20.
Is Honch still in the chat?
He is.
Do we cash out, Honch?
Dude, it just went down probably a lot.
It's closed right now. I gotta wait.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like
Honch, if you're watching, do we cash out or do we just ride this thing out for the second half?
I feel like your first opportunity was that. I feel like you should have cashed out.
It went down.
Okay.
It's 71 now. It went down 30.
I'm dropped. I would cash out, bro. It's
How
like,
do they not? How do they not have Theo on the field on that play?
I mean, bro, you're like, what is that? Like 15? 15, I mean, X? Was it 14X? Whatever it is.
I guess, yeah. I don't know, bro. I can't see myself cashing out. Yeah, Hans said it right. You cash out, it cashes in the second half. I lose out at, a lot of money. It's incredible to look at, though.
Yeah, Keys to Wisdom's kind of preaching here, man. He is preaching. He said, "You're not losing $5; you're losing a cash out."
It was so funny today. Hans too is like preaching to everyone at work. He's like, "It's only $5 you have to put on it." He was like, "Subway subs are no longer $5 footlongs." He was like, "It's nothing. You could put $5 on." He said, "A Little Caesar's pizza is not even $5 anymore. Put the 5 on it." And
Yeah, but Hans is looking at the perspective of a loss. We're talking, someone literally walked up to you with a Benjamin Franklin and said, "Here you go." And you just said,
"Yeah,
I'm going to take my 5," and walked away. And now it's at 70. Like, we're not talking about a loss, Hans. We're talking about a fucking $300. It's not for, yeah. I mean, it's basically a $300 bill. I mean, it's like, dude.
Yeah, but what about 8 $300 bills?
This is why people call the number.
No. I mean,
No.
I'm fine here, dude.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm messing with you. Do you gamble to cash out or gamble to win big? Well, I gamble to win money. So
Well, that's your problem. You should never gamble to win money.
What's the intent of gambling?
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
No, I don't. I literally gamble to make money. That is literally what it is. But
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, fair point.
It's good for the storyline. Fuck it. You know what? Just do whatever you got to do.
I guess it's good for the show. Yeah, I mean, everyone's tuned in now to watch if Theo Johnson scores a touchdown in the second half. Watch me suffer.
Yeah. I need Barkley to score in the second half at some point. I mean, they have a minute left, but I got Barkley in one of my parlays. But yeah, we have Raj joining in a couple of minutes. We'll talk some Tigers with Raj. Hopefully Theo Johnson scores right in the middle of Raj talking about the Tigers. We're in the middle of like a talking like Scooble or something. Did Hans give it out to a lot of people?
Everyone. People are asking him for a parlay. Instead of just giving out a normal, like a 5-leg plus 400, Hans was giving out a plus 16,000 parlay to everyone at work, to everyone, all of his friends. Hans probably gave it out to 20 people, 30 people. I respect it so much. Hans just plus 16,000 parlay. Take this.
He's feeding families.
Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, let's go. That's why I was like, if I didn't put it on and he gave it out to everyone and it didn't hit, that's an issue. Like, that's just all on me. I had to do it. I didn't give it to you. It's on me too. But I know you would have never put this bet on. You would have looked at it and be like, I'm good.
Probably.
I know 100%. You just would never have touched this bet.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't have touched it.
You would have been like, okay, bro.
And then
you would like a plus 200 parlay.
Yeah, I'd have been like, what? Yeah, that is Hans's phone's getting blown up right now. Shout out to him. I mean, you'll see it's 20-17 at half. I mean, it should be a decent scoring heist. I mean, Giants might get to 30 points. I mean, what kind of Giants team are we talking about here? I mean, what are we doing? Who are these Giants? And why are they playing this well against the Eagles, man? The Eagles what's going on with that?
I don't know. I kind of like it, though, because that means I hope the Eagles score. I hope this stays a game, so all these teams have to, they have to keep throwing and playing.
Yeah, well, the Eagles, what do they got? 30. They got 30 seconds ball on the 30 on the 43.
Yeah, AJ Brown's look kind of like going off a little bit here.
It's about time.
He has 73 yards in the first half.
Yeah, it's about time. He's 62nd in the NFL in yards.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's about time he gets the
That's
ball.
nuts.
Yeah, that's.
And tonight I was like, I'm gonna take a straight bet, and I asked you, I go, or how do you like my Devontae Smith one? I took Devontae Smith for 60. I was like, I'm gonna stay away from AJ Brown. AJ Brown gets the 70 in the first half.
That's how it always goes. That's how it always goes.
Devontae's at like 25 though, so.
Yeah, I mean, they're both quarterbacks are slinging it. Honestly.
Yeah, I did take the two. So a couple straight bets that I took was Jackson Dart 225 passing and rushing, and he's at 165. He needs 50 more in the second half. And I also took Jalen Hurts 250. He's at 165 as well. So he needs just under 100 in the second half, and it's a close game.
Yeah, that's. I mean. Justin says, I need a Smith to get a touchdown, and I win $150. Yeah, the Eagles are really weird right now, man. They definitely they lost last week, and how you look at when I look at a good roster, it's like, how do you respond after a loss like that? Their defense is getting torched. They don't have Jalen Carter today, but a rookie quarterback's dicing up Vic Fangio. Which, hey, just how it goes. We got Rod joining the show, a good friend of ours, Rogelio Castillo. All right, he's one of the best in the business. Co-owner, Tigers ML Report podcast host, MCM Baseball Pod. Joined us last week to talk about the Tigers, and now we are one game away from advancing, one win away from advancing further in the playoffs. And we can talk to Raj. Hey, Raj, how are we doing?
Doing well. I mean, yesterday was a prime example of being in the locker room on game 3, saw very quiet, the whole stadium was just in a somber way. And then yesterday it was like Dumb and Dumber, totally redeemed yourself. And so it was just, you saw the late inning, you saw them score a couple runs late in game 3, and it just carried over to game 4. And it was one of the best victories I witnessed yesterday.
Yeah, it was incredible. I know we'll talk about that game as well. I want your thoughts just kind of on the early start of the series. Tigers win game 1, a Scooble start, they lose, and then they were in a tough. I mean, they're in a tough spot. They were in a tough spot last game because they had. I know who the Mariners had out there on the mound had like a 5 ERA, and that's why Tigers fans were a little more hopeful. But it seemed like, at least for me, I lost a lot of confidence, and then they score 9 runs, which I checked the most betting apps when I'm looking at before the game. I think the Tigers over under on runs, total runs, was like 3.5, and they scored 9, which is awesome to watch. But what have you kind of made of the early part of this series, the losing the Scooble start, and kind of how they got to that win yesterday?
They've had to really kind of go unconventional Tiger ball. I mean, you look at Parker Meadows butting, some of the things that they've done. They've thrown everything they can in the kitchen sink to generate offense. And so the game 1 was a prime example of that. That was a lot of, everybody played tight. So did Seattle. And I thought that the Tigers were able to, if there's one thing that's been constant throughout the series, has been Baez's glove and his ability to hit. It was a matter of when were the Tigers going to kind of go into, all right, when's that big hit going to come in the runners in scoring position? And they couldn't do it. Even in that game. Game 2, Scooble makes, Jorge Polanco, typical Twin behavior. The guy who played for the Twins, and it blew my mind. It was like, come on, out of all the guys to burn you, Kyle Raleigh has not been the one to do it. It's other guys that stepped up in this lineup, because in game 1, they let the top of the order do everything, and the bottom of the order did nothing. And in the last 2 games, it's been a little different. So Seattle, JP Crawford hitting that home run, it was his first home off lefty in a while. And so there was a lot. This series has been weird. It's been kind of funky in the sense that these teams, it's just Seattle has not. I think AJ Hinch has outmanaged Dan Wilson and every step. And that's why they're still in this series, because they didn't have to win. They had, I know that Hinch said, we didn't steal anything, we earned the victory. I think he misunderstood that. I think that really he misunderstood that in the sense that, look, you're in Seattle, you have a frenzy crowd, And yeah, you earned the victory, but everyone expect you to win game 2, not game 1. And so I don't know. It's been such a weird series to even notice, like yesterday during the blowout game too. It was just Seattle was just getting contributions. Rowley finally got a home run, but like it was just everybody else in that lineup, and that to me has been the difference in this series. Has been Seattle's got other bats that have been stepping up, and the Tigers haven't.
Yeah, Raj, one thing, this is such a random question, but something I noticed the other day, the back end of the lineup, obviously at 9, it was Javi Baez the last few games. Parker Meadows, can I get your thoughts? Do you think he's going to be out there tomorrow, or do you think, because obviously you saw them bring in Jemiah Jones and as well as I think it was Wencel Perez, and both of them looked good and actually, offensively made an impact throughout that comeback. Do you think that they roll with the Parker Meadows tomorrow, or they kind of go with Wencel or Jemiah Jones?
I think they're going to have to roll with Parker because his defense is better than Jemiah Jones. I mean, Meadows to me is the superior defender, and you need all the defense you get, especially in Seattle. And he's played that field very well. And with SEMO 313, I think Jake. Somebody mentioned, one of my friends texted me about what about Jake Rogers getting an opportunity, because I think Dingler looks exhausted, but he's been able to step up. I mean, he had a home run in this postseason, and he's been playing really stellar defense. And I think with Meadows is it's a lesser of two evil. I mean, Jemiah Jones has been able to hit, and he does. I think his role is pinch hitter, and he's excelled at that role very well. And so I think that I think Hinch is going to stick with his routine. If Jones somehow, same thing with Perez, defensively Perez has been streaky at best, but man, I don't know. Like I know Meadows has been struggling this postseason, but his glove is so superior out there, and you want to have all the advantages you can get, especially on the road.
Yeah, Raj, what if you kind of thought about I think one of the best stories in Detroit sports, Javi Baez, and his kind of resurgence? I mean, he had the injury, from the money they paid him to the criticism early on to now being the most consistent player right now out there for the Tigers, and just how well he's played in some of the bigger moments in the games where they do need a player to step up. What have you kind of thought of Javi and now continued success after coming off of yesterday's pretty good performance by him?
I think Tiger fans, I've said this a couple times and I've gotten a lot of grief for it. I think Tiger fans owe him an apology because he's finally healthy. When he's healthy, this is the guy you want out there. And something Bobby Scales stood out to me. He said during the broadcast, I was it was last week. He said, when you have hip issues and leg issues like he was having, you can't plant your foot and throw properly. And he's right. I mean, for anybody who's played a sport, like, you guys know what it is being a quarterback running on when you're making a throw on the go and you have turf toe or something like that, it makes it impossible. And I think, to me, I think the biggest way that I think Baez has just been like, look, I'm going to be myself the whole time, and he's stuck with it. And as a result, I think that we're seeing what he's the only guy on the roster, if you think about it, with all that playoff experience. They don't really have anybody else with that kind of playoff bitter. This guy won a World Series with the Cubs. So that experience is coming through. Even sometimes when he takes a ball away from McKinstry, whatever the case is, he's still making the plays. He's still doing that, is because that's the kind of person, and that's his DNA. Yes, he swings and misses at pitches outside. However, during the Cleveland series, they wanted him to go to right. Guess what? He started going to right. That's how smart and intelligent, out there that of a hitter he is. And he is an intelligent baseball player he is. And so I think that baseball IQ is coming to the surface more and more because it's always been there. And now he's healthy. And I think you need that kind of veteran leadership in the postseason, especially on a roster that has virtually no experience whatsoever.
Yeah, Raj, I just want to kind of get your thoughts tomorrow. Obviously, essentially, it's primetime game, 8 p.m. Skubal on the mound. They're favored in Seattle, minus 135, I think, was the last time I saw it. What is your confidence level going into tomorrow? Do you think they get this thing done? Do you think they're able to win this series and go play Toronto?
Yeah, I think they get it done tomorrow. This is a chance for him to say, look, I'm the money man. Scott Boras is probably going, look, dude, you want that big money? You go out there and you pitch like Verlander did against Oakland back in it was during when he shut out Oakland on the road. That makes Skubal a legend right there. If he goes out and shoves like he's supposed to, like he can, and get his changeup going and mixing in pitches and doing what he's supposed to do in sequence room right, they win that game. And I think the team feels confident about their ability, despite whoever they throw out there. And I think it's going to be a game where I think if Detroit, the key for Detroit is to get to score early and just keep the throttle and just keep it going on Seattle, because I think Seattle is one miscue away from totally melting down. It's not like Toronto. Like if you notice the Toronto Yankee series, Toronto, yeah, they had a setback in Game 3, but they came back and punched New York in the face. I don't see that killer instinct with Seattle right now. I don't. I saw a team that looks a little, I don't want to say lost per se. The Seattle's a really good team. Don't get me wrong. Julio Rodriguez, Big Bat, Kyle Rowley, the Big Dump, all these guys, and they have really good pitching. But if Skubal can go out there and give you 7 to 8 innings and you hand it over to Vest or Finnegan in the 9th, I feel really good about it, honestly. To me, it's just Skubal has to go out there and do what he has to do and know what he's capable of. And this is what makes him that top tier guy. That is true ace, going on the road and shutting him out and giving your team an opportunity. If they get to the ALCS from there against Toronto, I'm not gonna make any predictions against Toronto. Toronto's a damn good team, but for now, I think they win it tomorrow in Seattle.
Do you ever feel like with Skubal, Raj? Because I was actually talking about this the other day, that Guardians game where it was like you needed a win from Skubal, and he had the 14 strikeouts, and you could just tell like he has this flip, and he's already so good throughout the regular season, but you could tell like last week versus the Guardians, there was some switch that he just flipped, and it was like you need this win, and he just locked in and got it. Do you feel like that's like 10 plus strikeouts tomorrow? Like he's going to flip that switch and be good tomorrow. Is that the feeling you get?
That's the vibe I get.
All right. That's all I need to hear.
Yeah, I get that vibe because he against Seattle, Seattle's going to be aggressive. They're going to be pressing a little bit. And if he can play up to that a little bit and get in their head a little bit early on, that's going to be huge. And I just my hope it doesn't go the other way against like we did with Cleveland last year. I mean, there's so many lessons to be learned from that. But you're going back to where he was going to where he played in college. To him, I'm sure there's a lot more to this than just, of course, the Tigers. I mean, outside of the Tigers, there has to be some sort of like, look, I'm playing against these people that I grew up here, or I played my ball here, and I'm sure he doesn't want to let down the people that matter to him the most out to live out that way.
Yeah, Roger, we talked about him earlier this week, but a player that got to hit his first postseason home run, Riley Green. I know he's up there in the MLB in strikeouts. I know he got some criticism at times from fans, but what did it kind of mean just for him to have just a clutch, absolute bomb yesterday and just his play lately? What have you thought of Riley Green stepping up there?
I really thought that really was a very good moment for him because the fans have been kind of booing him, and then there's this talk about him not being a franchise player. Look at his swing; it's an uppercut swing. His swing is all or for nothing. The guy he set a record for most home runs for a player under 20 age. Tigers drafted player because the Tigers have been notoriously bad for drafting. He is what he is, but he got it done. I mean, yesterday was 454 feet or some ridiculous like that. I think for him, he is a straw that stirs. I mean, I hate to say that cliche, but he is a straw that stirs the drink for the Tigers offense. And if Torkelson's struggling, but if Green's hitting a home run, then that's fine. But I really, really thought that yesterday the crowd. I mean, you heard the crowd. It was like shaking.
Yeah.
And it was something that like. It was one of the best postseason moments we've ever witnessed in the last decade or so. And going back to the Mel Cabrera days, I mean, Mickey was there Game 3. You got Lou Whitaker Game 4, and then this Green home run that's just majestic to it. Man, I'm telling you, he really needed that, and I'm glad that he was able to. It just kept that momentum going for the Tigers when they desperately needed it.
Raj, I asked you this question last week. And it was more so about the series. I want to just ask you for the game tomorrow. Take away, let's say, Javi Baez, Riley Green, Skubal, like the guys that have been playing well and stepping up in some of these moments. Out of like these other players who you haven't seen as much out of, who do you think tomorrow you need to step up to be able that could be kind of the deciding factor of an elimination game, a win or go home game like tomorrow?
I think Spencer Torkelson has to continue to. You want to see some more. I mean, Torkelson's had some good at bats this year or this postseason, but you want to see just a little bit more from him in terms of power. I think Zach McKinstry, you like to see just get more contact, and Winfield Perez. Perez is a much better. He had a big clutch hit against Cleveland in the deciding game, and so. I think in this series he's kind of disappeared again. I would like to if Winfield Perez or Torkelson or McKinstry can get something going early on. I think that's the key difference for them to win the game, because if they can get on base and let Baez or Green or whomever drive those, I mean, or for Torkelson, really those table setters at the head of the lineup, get them on base, allow them to do some things, some runners on scoring position like they did yesterday. Then I think that's going to be a big advantage for them, because I just think, like I said, I think if they score early, it gets into Seattle's head and they're just like crap. We're pressing again. And Hinch is going to outschool Dan Wilson all day, every day, because this is his first postseason and it's showing.
Well, Raj, we appreciate the hell out of you, my friend. You keep up the great work. Keep crushing it. Good luck tomorrow.
It's gonna win tomorrow, Raj. Come on, man.
Yeah, and
let's keep it going, Raj. Let's keep
shout out to Dull Spoon, man. Hopefully, like I said, man, if you ever see me walk around Comerica Park, man, you want to have a hot dog or shoot the shit with a beer, talk some baseball, man. Dude, I'm a fat Hispanic guy. I'm not hard to miss, my friends.
There you go. Raj, joining the program. We'll talk to him very soon. He'll be there. Go say hi to Raj. One of the best dudes out there, man.
Legend, dude. I love Raj so much, man.
Yeah, he's the man. He's the absolute man.
I'm pumped up for tomorrow. We're obviously, the game's at 8, so we're probably just going to do a watch party, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's one of the biggest Tigers games that we've had since, I don't know, since we were high school. So, or at least I was in high school. You were probably like in kindergarten. Just kidding. Mm-hmm. That just made you seem so much younger than me. That's really just a shot at me.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're Unc is what you're saying, basically.
Yeah, I mean I'm 28 years old. Yeah. I'm 2 years away from probably officially being Unc at 30. Dude, I'm just really, this Theo Johnson thing's really getting to my head right now.
Theo Johnson, he's gonna be so rattled about it. Drop your questions, thoughts, concerns while we kind of cruise the last 11 minutes. We'll answer anything you guys want. So, well, not anything, but most things, depending on what you ask, I guess. But drop them. Let us know.
Any questions? Hit us.
He said you're Unc after 27.
What? Yeah. Is that actually real? I thought it was like 30, dude. 27. You're still young, dude.
It can't be.
No. I mean, can we look it up right now? Did you have AI? I don't really use AI. When are you considered Unc? When a younger person jokingly refers to you as their uncle because you are perceived as being older, out of touch with current trends, or generally, it says this, while there's no fixed age, as significant portion of younger people seem to align the start of Unc status with the late 20s, such around 25 to 27 years old. How old are you? What are you turning? You're about to turn 26?
No, I'm turning 25.
Hey, you're about to be Unc. Let's go next week.
Ridiculous.
Let's go. Welcome to the club here soon, man.
No.
Someone just said Theo's hurt.
No way. They just played.
He just had a big catch and he's getting up slow.
Dude, I need one more catch by him.
He just got one.
I'm saying after he just did that.
He's hurt.
No.
I still have a cash out.
Cash out? What the hell are you doing?
No, I think he's good. He just dropped it. I thought he was yelling because he was like, he is hurt or like he's beaten up or, but I think he was just yelling because he dropped the pass. It was like a 40-yard bomb and he dropped it.
By the way, ETN, it'd be one more series after this, and then they win that, and they go to the World Series.
Yeah. Yep.
Almost there.
Right there, man.
Like,
How crazy is that?
5 is the new Unk. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Welcome, dude. Once you start getting, dude, I'll tell you what. I'm 28 now. I think, Jeff, you have 2 more birthdays, and then you're fine. But once you hit 27, that's the age where it hits you a little bit. Like you are, at least for me, that's where it hit me. Like, dude, you're getting there. Like you're old, dude.
Where? You're
old.
still young. You're not
20,
old, bro.
dude. Once you hit 20, I promise you, you're right now. You're 24 and you're turning 25.
No.
I promise you, when you hit 27, you're gonna see the 7 at the end of the 2,
and
you're gonna be like, wow.
It's gonna be. I'm 27 years young. I'm still.
No, I get what you're trying to do, but I promise you, when you do hit that and you see that 7 instead of like a 6 or a 5, and you start getting over that edge of the 20s, you're going to be, at least me, that's what I personally was just like, wow, this is like getting real. This is getting real.
I think for me, when you turn 40, you're like, okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, 30 is going to be a little eye-opener.
30s is like you're in your 30s, man. Like, who
Dude,
cares?
30, when you hit 30, it's not who cares. It's I'm 30 years old. I remember when I was 13.
Stop being a little puss and say I'm 30, like 35.
No, dude.
35 years young.
30 is crazy, dude. That
or 50, like 50, you're like, wow, I'm getting to.
My whole goal in life, if I'm being honest with you guys, I mean, my whole goal, I've told people my whole life, my whole goal is to make it to 50. If I get to 50, I'm cool with whatever happens after. I just want to get to 50.
Why 50?
And it's just like, okay, dude, I did it. I got to 50. Like, not a lot of people get to live to 50. I've had friends that have passed away in, the 20s and teens, and like, I want to get to 50. I think that's like, okay, oof, I've made it. I'm there. Now it's like whatever happens after here, I'm living off of free time.
I'm gonna live forever.
No.
I'm gonna be on Earth forever.
Isn't it crazy, dude? I mean, we're getting into some deep talks here. Isn't it just crazy that just one day you're just gone? Like, that's just so.
Okay, I mean,
it baffles me, dude. It baffles me, dude. Sometimes I like just lay there about to go to bed, and I'm just like about to fall asleep, and it just hits me and it just goes, dude, you're just like one day you're gonna die and you're just done. Like, you're just like no longer here. It's just nuts. Is that not?
Yeah.
Such a crazy concept, dude.
It is.
Like, it's
that's why it's important to you do whatever you want, but have some sort of faith in something.
Oh, 100%. That, yes, I get, but I'm just saying, like, on the planet, on Earth, with everyone, like, you're just boom, poof, gone.
It is a crazy concept, yeah.
It just baffles me. I think about that sometimes when I'm just like about to go to sleep. Like, I'm about to close my eyes. I think
my dad is 63, starting 63, the 24th.
Okay.
Shout out Pops. But he is worried. He's 63, about to be, and he's already talking like he's dead. Like he's gonna die any moment. I'm like, dude, you're 63.
I love your Pops too, because the other day, what did I call him? I call him Pops. Don't call me that. It sounds like I'm old.
Yeah, he hates getting older. He hates it. It's like, it's just,
it's so funny, man.
I'm like, dude, you're not gonna die tomorrow. You're okay. Like, you're good. You're healthy. He works out.
He said, Boone, I'll be going through it, Boone. Don't call me Pops. So I'm trying to deal with the old, getting old. Oh, it's so funny, man.
Yeah, it's how it is. A lot of people deal with that.
That's how I feel right now at 28.
Streams Only says, I love your positivity, Hefe, but man, dude, what's your... Oh, goes in a blink.
It does. It goes fast. I never thought in a million years, dude. I remember when I was in high school, and I was like, I'm 28, 30. I'll never be 30. Like, my parents were in their 30s. And the fact that I'm close to where my parents were when I was in high school is like, it's just so baffling to me. And then again, boom, another 20 years is going to go by. I'm going to be 45, 48.
Well, hold on. Let's not speed it up here. Okay. I like Ben Burns. Damn, my dad is 63. I'm 40. Yeah. So your dad had you at 23. My dad had me at 30. What did it do to math? 30 something, 36.
Life is crazy, dude.
37.
It's nuts, dude.
I think he was 36, 30. I don't know. Fuck the math, man. In his 30s. All right. I'm not doing quick math here. Okay. So yeah, he's in his late 30s. So it's a little different. I got older siblings though. So that's the difference.
So do I. And I got older, younger.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts just missed a wide open Devontae Smith. like 40 yards.
That would have
down
been
the
your
field.
yards, man.
Wide open, no one around him.
Look at SEMO, 28's ancient, bro. The best years of your existence is long gone.
He's not wrong,
come
dude.
on,
He's not
SEMO.
wrong.
No, that's ridiculous.
Jeff, you remind me of Gary V, dude. He like every time he hears someone, he'll be talking to like a 70-year-old. He'll be like, "How old are you?" He's like 70. He's like, "You're so young, man. You still have so much life. Like, go, you're good. Like, you're just starting life." It's
Gary
like
V does that is because a lot of people just feel like it's just like I'm too old and they're like 31. It's like, dude, like you know how many people became millionaires at 40 or 45?
Yeah, dude. One thing I've always had, I've had this mindset. I think I told you this before. I've told my family this, my parents, everyone. I tell people this. Like, there's a lot of people. I have this 1% rule. This is gonna sound crazy. Like we're supposed to be talking about sports. I have a 1% rule in my mind, in my life, where there are things that I want to do, like doing this for a living, where we become like the biggest in the state or biggest to whatever we want to do in the whatever we want to do. I can't, there's something wired in me that can't stop. Like, it's like, I want to keep going because I feel like I've told you this before, like 99% of the people in the world have dreams and then they just cut them off to have a family or just end it because they're like, I'm too old. Like I'm past that time. And then they'll just never do it. But if you stick and be that 1% person that's like, I'm not stopping, you're going to do it eventually. Like eventually it's going to hit for you. And it's happened. It's helped me. I mean, dude, for basketball, it happened for basketball. Dude, I was coaching against Tom Izzo because I was just like, I'm going to keep going. And then I switched. I got a new dream. Now I'm this. And it's just like, I'm not going to stop. Nothing's going to stop it. I call it the 1% rule, Booner's 1% rule. If you are part of the 1% that just never stops, eventually it's going to come into fruition. That's your daily motivation from Booner.
You have to just choose
That's
to
how I
do
live
hard
by.
shit every day.
Yeah.
Choose to do hard shit every day. And that way the people, your enemies, they will not do you. Then you will think to yourselves, I feel bad whoever has to follow me and do this shit.
For sure.
Because like I'm doing shit I don't want to do. Or you want to do, but it's hard. Whether it's working out, eating healthy, working towards your goals. Do hard shit. Choose hard shit. And I promise you're going to be in your different category. Everyone wants the easy way, And honestly, I'm being fully transparent. I know we have an audience that would understand this. This generation, no mean to offend anyone, around my age, soft as baby shit. A lot of kids my age are soft. And no one wants to be great, or at least they're trying to take shortcuts. So it's actually easier in today's world than ever was before to chase your dreams. Because everyone's soft and no one wants to work hard. So it's
just work. If you work, dude, you're good.
Yeah.
That's how I've gotten to where I am, dude. I'm not good at work.
I doesn't want to work. So it's like, all right, that's easy.
I was so bad at doing what we do, and I just worked. I'm just going to work.
Yeah. It's how it goes.
I'm going to outwork people. It's easy as that.
Yeah, and this generation is very easy. It's not like all the people in our chat, their generation, very different than this generation, for sure. ETN says, I can confirm Jeff is right. Yeah, that's how it goes. I mean, it's just how it goes. We appreciate you all, man.
What a show. We're all over the place.
I don't know what the hell is going on. This show is off the rails. Tomorrow we'll be live for our watch party, watching the Tigers game. So come hang out with us, watch the game with us, have it on, watch it with the boys. It'll be a good time. I think Caleb might be joining the show as well. So Come hang out. It'll be a blast. Get your merchandise, officialcgsports.com, and we will catch you tomorrow. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Love you guys. See you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. Let's go, baby.